Hi there, and welcome to another quick and easy watercolor painting. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do it sort of a little bit more instinctively. We're going to put just a sort of a half moon shape down here, and we're going to put some paint, some Payne's gray across the top. And we're going to we're going to tip this up like this so that the paint starts to run down this way. And I have a little lid here. I'm just going to stick underneath there and let this paint run down the page. Tip it up a little bit more, get it to run a little bit faster. All right, so you can see where it's not running too much there. I'm just going to pick up a little bit more water. Just get it to anywhere that the paint stops running, it's telling you that it's dry. Okay, so we'll get it all the way down here. Bring it a little bit there, and then I'm just going to tip it back this way. And now I'm tipping it away from me to get the paint to run the other way. And you can keep tipping this however it is that you want to tip it to get the pigment to run. I'm just going to set it back down. I'm going to prop it up so that the page is coming towards me. Okay, that's not too bad. That's what we're going for. So now I'm just going to take this brush and I'm going to put this brush right into the pigment. I'm not going to put it into the wash. This is just strictly the wet brush onto the pigment, and pick it up, and you'll see how much it's how vibrant the color is. So I'm not going to do any more than that. I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to rinse it off, and I might pick up a little bit of so this is just sienna that's on here. What we're trying to do is build up some layers. Just going to touch this in a few places with that sienna. So none of this can come down the page because it's stopped by the water line, right? So the water hasn't there's no water down here, so the paint can't run in this direction. I'm just going to set that brush down there, and I'm going to lay this board down flat. And as soon as I lay it down flat, you'll see that all of that pigment has started to go out of this wet area into the other wet area. Now you need to just leave this sitting for maybe a minute or two, and I'll speed this up so you don't have to, so you can just see it happen. You don't have to listen to me natter. Okay, so I'm going to tip the board going the other way to get the paint to run. And I'm going to tip the board back this way. Get the paint to run down this direction. And now I'm going to tip it back this way, and once again back over here. And I'm just going to lay it flat again and see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to wet it. I'm going to wet it, and I'm going to get some of this pigment to run down in this general direction. So you can see I'm just touching that. Where that was before, and I'm just going to get tip this up so it's running towards me. Again, I'm going to touch that sienna color. Just get that to run down here. And then I'm going to take my wet brush I just rinsed off. I'm going to pick up some yellow ochre. And I'm just going to introduce the yellow ochre right across like this. And we're just going to let this go to wherever it's going to go to. And pick up a little bit more yellow ochre. Introduce it into some of these wet areas. Right here. And you notice I'm doing all of this with just a 3/4 inch flat. Pick up a little bit more of this sienna. That's all moving pretty good. I'm going to pick up a little bit more Payne's gray. And you see I'm doing this sort of very intuitively. Just letting the paint go to wherever it is that the paint wants to go to. All right, now another little secret that I have here is a little bag of salt. This is just regular table salt. And I just take it between my fingers and I just drop it onto the page. All right, and then you just have to leave it. Just have to walk away. So at this point, we're just gonna walk away and see what we have. Okay, so all that salt is still on here. So what you have to do is sort of very gently with your fingers, just move my paint set out of the way because I don't really want to get that in my paint set, but very gently with your fingers just sort of scrape that all off. It's sort of like, it's almost like sandpaper, and you see some parts of it are a little bit more difficult to get off, but it's kind of cool what it reveals. Yeah, that is pretty cool. You put your mat on it. It's very intuitive. All right, let me know what you think about that in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. I'd also like to know where you're from. If you could leave me a comment in the comment section, let me know where you're from. I'd really appreciate it. If you're currently a subscriber, thanks a lot. If you're not currently a subscriber, please consider subscribing to my channel. I hope all your paintings turn out. We'll see you again real soon.